still one burning question.
Okay, is Sam alive?
It sounded she was making noises, but in my past experiences, it sounded more like death gargles. Your body's shutting down.
Okay.
Honestly.
So she's still kind of breathing at this point.
Yeah, but she got shot in the back of the head by 8 to 10 inches away with a Smith & Wesson MP40.
Okay.
From the sounds of it, Samantha technically survived the shot, but it wasn't looking good. If she wasn't taken to a hospital quickly, she likely wouldn't have made it. But it doesn't seem like the killers were expecting her to live. At least the cops now have a possible murder weapon, a Smith & Wesson MP40. Remember though, the cops have already searched the house and didn't find any evidence of a murder. But given the importance of this information, they decide to go back and see if they missed anything. At this point, Samantha's life hangs in the balance. If they find a single bullet casing or blood splatter, it likely means that Marshall was telling the truth and Samantha is long dead.
Help mom get the shine she deserves. Shop Tonga's Express gift cards today.
Wait, what? Like, really? I bet.
Planet Fitness Wausau is moving to a brand new home on South 18th Avenue. The same best-in-class strength and cardio equipment in a spacious new location. Come see our new space and join today for just $1 down. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Oh, damn.
12 just pulled up. After police, anyone here? Make yourself known.
I don't even know what
These
happened.
are the steps that Samantha was allegedly shot on, but the cops can't stop to investigate yet. Knowing how hot this house is and how many places there are for people to hide, they have to be on high alert and clear the entire place out before they can even think about letting their guard down. All 3 officers have their guns drawn and are doing their best to stick together should anybody be inside.
I'm going left.
I can't get it. Barbara Avenue, shots fired inside of the house.
Clear.
See, this the type of shit that make you think, like, is everybody crazy? Is everybody just crazy? Or more like
Black Camaro, leave the parking
the
lot.
fact that as they walk down there, I can smell it is crazy.
By the looks of it, Dad came here.
It seems like the house is empty, but it's a complete mess. There's no obvious evidence of a murder anywhere, so it's now clear why the cops didn't find anything their first time here. However, Marshall had told them 2 very important things: exactly where the shot was allegedly taken, and more importantly, that William and Yoshi had actually come back to clean up the scene. That means that any signs of the murder could be extremely difficult to find, but not impossible. In fact, you've actually already seen some evidence that proves Marshall's story to be 100% true. Take another look at the marking on this wall, right below the crack. It's a little difficult to see, but that isn't graffiti. That's Samantha Guthrie's blood. Once the cops spotted this, it all fell into place. Multiple blood spatters that hadn't been cleaned up were found on the walls, as well as the bullet casings that looked similar to the bullets that the Smith & Wesson MP40 uses. Marshall was telling the truth. Danny and Tony were now wanted for murder, and they had 4 other witnesses they could use to track them down and convict them. And in fact, they wouldn't have to wait long, as police were soon called to a house where a girl claimed a couple had chased her with a gun.
This young lady came in my back door and what's going on? You want to step outside and talk? Who's they? Huh? Do you need EMS for anything?
This is Kimberly. One of the girls that Marshall mentioned was at the house the day Samantha was shot. The owners of this home called the cops after she begs them to let her inside as she was being chased, allegedly by some others that frequent the house on Lillian Street. The cops are desperate to know what could have possibly made her this distressed, so they bring her outside to their cruiser to talk.
You're safe now, okay? Why don't you explain what's going on? So keeps like looking all around. Who's they? What do they look like?
This guy named Demon.
Black guy, white guy?
Black, like short.
What was he wearing?
Black pants and a black like, short sleeve hoodie thing that like had a hood, like it's drawstrings right here, but it wasn't like a hoodie.
Just one black guy?
It was like a hoodie.
You know, they was with a bunch of white guys. And I think
a black and white guy?
There was a black guy, like 3 white guys. And then, it makes, I think, I was running.
Whatever happened to Kimberly was clearly a blur to her, but the cops are starting to get a little concerned. Barely a couple days after Samantha's supposed death, one of the witnesses gets chased by a group of people holding guns. It could just be coincidence, albeit a terrifying one, so the cops ask her why she was in town to see if this could be related to anything else, and they get the most worrying answer possible.
So you're from the Falls, you were visiting a friend here in Akron. Where's that friend at now? And where do you know where they live?
I have no idea where they are. I have no idea.
I'm gonna run her names.
What's the friend's name? What's her last name?
Harrison.
Jody Harrison. Do you know what street she lives on?
That's a guy.
What's that?
It's a guy.
Okay, what street does he live on?
He's on Lillian.
What is it? Lillian?
The only reason Kim was in town was to meet her friend Jody on Lillian Street, and she doesn't know anyone else from around here. That's when the cops come to a horrifying realization. They think Kim was just attacked because she was a witness to Samantha's supposed murder, and now they have a terrifying situation on their hands. If they don't track down the killers and all their accomplices quickly, they could be looking at a lot more than just one murder. This case had now become a top priority, and all local officers and detectives were on high alert for any leads that could help them find even just one of the suspects. And that's when they got a potentially life-saving.
I thought the lady that died name was Kimberly. So who the fuck is Jody? And how did y'all tie that together?
Call. A man was claiming that Danny and Tony had pulled a gun on him inside the house, and that the suspects were now in the parking lot outside bragging about killing somebody just days earlier. Cops immediately headed to the scene, thinking this might be their chance to catch the lead suspects behind Samantha's disappearance.
Okay.
Step out of the car! Step out of the car! Man, move over here! Step out of the car! Hands up, please. Hands up, please. What is that? Okay. Put all that stuff down. Put it down!
Why? Why are you doing this?
Put it down! Hands on top of your head!
Why are you doing this?
Stay right there. Turn around. Turn around. Nope. Stay right there. I'm telling you for now, okay? I'll explain to you what's going on in a second. Do you have any sharp on you?
No.
Any weapons or anything? Don't reach for nothing. Do you have any weapons on you? Have a seat. Stand up for me. What are you doing with your foot, man?
I got
Blisters?
blisters and fucking, it's called jumper rock. There's another one right here.
Where at? Don't reach.
The fifth pocket. The fifth pocket right here.
Okay.
There's a knife right there.
I'll take care of it.
I just want to make sure I got a bag of needles in my pocket.
A bag of needles, you said?
Yes, sir.
So far, this has been surprisingly easy. At this point, the officer had no idea it would actually be the interrogations that'd be the hardest part of this process, but he's enjoying the simplicity while it lasts. Soon, a couple more officers arrive on the scene to help search Danny and Tori, secure them, and collect some information before they're taken away for questioning.
I haven't been upstairs to talk to whoever lives here yet. Okay. When I pulled up, he was in the driver's seat. She was digging in the trunk. As soon as she saw me, because she did something, she closed it real fast. I just did a quick pat down to make sure they have any guns on him. But if you guys could try to get a hold of him, figure out what the hell is going on here.
You don't have anything on you that's going to poke me, frick me, anything like that, right? No weapons we need to be aware of? If you do, tell me now.
I actually have my gun. I only have it because...
Where is it at?
Is it
loaded?
It does not load it. I only have it because I'm lazy.
Is it right here on the side?
Yes.
I don't want to set it off.
It's not
I know,
I never used it before. My mom made sure I took it with me to be accurate. I'm good one.
She had a gun in her wall. I haven't found his yet.
You got a gun?
I had 2 knives on me laying there.
2 knives. What's your name?
Danny.
Is it okay if I check your pockets here real quick? Yeah, we're not trying to give anyone a hard time. We got a call that people with guns and warrants and things like that.
Warrants? You have to look at there a little bit of...
Fentanyl?
No, hell no, Lord, no.
What is it?
Meth.
Meth?
He said, oh, hell no, oh, Lord, no. And then gonna say meth.
Eventually, the officers brought Danny and Tony back to the station for interrogation, and this is where the hard part started for the detectives.
Lieutenant Wade and Detective Ross.
How you doing?
So, they got you with a gun. Okay. You okay?
I want my attorney.
Okay. Can I read it to you then anyway?
Yeah.
For the record? You have the right to remain silent. You understand this, right?
Here, it's important to note that Danny thinks he's been brought in just because of the gun incident. At this point, he is unaware that police have him and Tony as lead suspects for Samantha's disappearance. Detectives are doing this to potentially lead him into a fake story or timeline that they can prove wrong later.
You've indicated that you want to talk to your lawyer?
Correct. I don't know what it's about, but I still want my attorney. I know that.
Okay.
I do this.
All right. I don't know what to do about your...
I got 11 numbers. Give me my attorney.
All right. Man, I don't know what we can do about your freezing, but maybe get you out of here as soon as we can. How's that? While you're here, can we at least cover something?
You can talk, right? I ain't gonna say nothing.
You mind if we get some swabs from you?
Like I said, you can talk, I ain't gonna say nothing.
All right.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I got 11 numbers, 23 years in the system. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. Without my attorney present, nobody else sitting here, I ain't got nothing to say.
Danny's been in this situation before, and he knows exactly what to do. At the very least, stall the detective's process for as long as possible. He's staying quiet and refusing to speak without an attorney present, as is his right. So the detectives have no other choice but to switch over to Tony and see if she will budge instead.
Let's have a seat there, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Wade, and this is Detective Ross.
Hello.
Hi.
But I didn't know anything else came together. I never had a weapon before in my life. My mom gave it to me because I was still working here at Litany. So.
We're going to read your Miranda rights, okay?
They already did that.
Okay. Good. Okay, you understand them and everything? Okay. There's a girl that's missing. And we have strong reason to believe he's involved in her disappearance.
He couldn't do that.
So.
He couldn't do that.
Why couldn't you do it?
Because he's not that type of person.
Okay. But like I said, we have a lot of information pointing to his involvement in this girl's disappearance. So what I want from you to know if you've ever seen this girl before, and think hard before you answer, because we want to know if you've seen her. Okay, and you've never seen her before, that's true.
They're deciding to be a lot more upfront with Tony and treat her not as a suspect, but more of a witness. It's likely she wouldn't confess to being involved in the murder, but they think there could be a chance that she'd turn Danny in if she thought it meant she'd get away. Unfortunately, though, having been on the wrong side of the law in the past herself, she's not about to help the cops out so easily.
I'm going to be straight with you. He's looking at some serious problems. And from what you're telling me, If you were with him that whole time, the past 3 days, which she went disappeared in the last 3 days. So if you were with him the whole time, you know what my next leap is.
Well, that's ridiculous because he was with me. We were in Warren.
Think real hard, because this is very important to what happens with you in the future. Okay?
No, I get that. I'm not that stupid.
Okay, hang on. Hear me out. So this is not a misdemeanor crime we're investigating. We don't do that, okay? When we get involved, something bad has happened. We know some other stuff went on this weekend, specifically yesterday, Saturday night, at a house in Akron. So I don't want you to get in any trouble with something that you were just along for the ride. But if you're going to sit here and tell with you the whole time, you think you're helping him, but you're not.
You're hurting yourself.
Let me tell you about the house where it happened at. We've talked to people that's been at the house. They were all at this house where this girl disappeared from. In fact, something bad happened to her at the house. You know why we know that? Because the guys, we've already talked to him all day. We spent all day talking to him. And he gave us detailed accounts of what happened at that house. You have to think hard about how you want to handle this, because if you're going to sit here and vouch for him, that can get you caught. That can get you in trouble. You have kids?
Yes, I have 2 kids.
2 boys?
Yes.
Okay. What would you do if one of those boys went missing?
Everything I could to find them.
Okay, would you expect people to help us to find them, to locate them?
Yeah.
What if I don't like my therapist?
You'll find one you do.
I can't deal with insurance.
Rula makes that part easy. There's too many.
They say higher education is outdated, irrelevant. We say don't settle for the status.
The route the detective is taking is obvious and would work on the majority of people. He's trying to scare Toni into giving up what she knows so they can get to the bottom of things faster. If she gives Danny up, she might get a good deal with them, but if not, things could end up real badly for her. The most interesting dynamic here, though, is how the detective is trying to use Marshall's earlier statement against her. This happens all the time, but usually they're exaggerating the strength of the evidence or making it up completely. This time, though, they actually have an airtight statement, but Toni simply doesn't believe them. That means she thinks she can just continue to deny everything, and instead of taking a deal for less jail time, she can just get away with no charges. So with this in mind, watch how confidently she denies everything, unaware that the detectives know every word she speaks is a lie.
So, this girl's family has been out looking for her all day. Okay, but unfortunately, we already know what happened to her. So from here on out, anything that based on what you're telling us, I mean, we're giving you this chance to talk to us now. Anything that in relation to her, what happened to this girl, is going to be attached to you too. Okay, because we're giving you a chance. But if you want to cover for him, that's fine. I don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter to me.
That's just.
We're going to move on
I'm
with the
sorry
investigation.
that this happened to that girl. I don't.
We have reason to believe you were there.
That I was there.
Mhm.
I don't kick it in Akron like that. I just started to come to Akron when I got hired.
We're not saying that it was a every weekend thing, but we're saying that we have reason to believe, based on what we've been doing all day, you were there.
No, sorry, I've never seen that girl in my life.
And we have people that have told us you were there.
Oh, that's ridiculous because I don't know anybody really from Akron.
You know, actually, in addition to the people that we talked to, said that this all started because you and this girl got into some kind of altercation.
I don't know this girl. I've never seen this girl.
Okay, like I said, once we move forward in this investigation, from what you're telling us, since you're with him, you're going to be attached to whatever we do with him. You understand that, right?
Well, yeah, I'm his girlfriend.
Okay, just so we got that clear.
I've never seen that girl.
Who's that?
I don't know who that is either.
You hardly even looked at him.
I looked at him. I don't know who that is.
Well, I got to know him, so did Detective Ross. We got to know him a lot today. We spent the entire day with him.
Well, what's his name?
And, well, that's not important. You don't know him, so what difference does it make?
In reality, Tony is extremely familiar with the man in the photo, as he's the man that helped load Samantha into her car. That man is Yoshi. Conveniently, Yoshi, whose real name is Dylan, had just been brought in on unrelated warrants, and detectives couldn't believe their luck. One of the main witnesses, possibly even an accomplice, had been brought right to them without any effort whatsoever. The best part? Dylan wasn't the hardened criminal they expected. In fact, his interrogation was unlike anything you've ever seen. Not only is it truly heartbreaking, but it was actually key to putting not one, not two, but 3 people behind bars for Samantha's murder.
Help us. This is serious. Did something bad happen to her?
I don't know.
She's a young girl, man.
No,
What happened to her?
I don't know. I just found her a couple of days ago.
Help us. Help us. Do you see something bad?
Not 5 minutes into the interview, we see an emotion painted on Dylan's face you don't often see in the interrogation room. He's holding back tears, trying to hide his face, and is exhibiting a type of stress you rarely see in criminals. He's terrified and devastated at the same time. After all, he's just 19 years old. He shouldn't be caught up in all of this. The detective picks up on this immediately and wants to figure out precisely why Dylan feels so strongly about all this. They spend some time discussing simple details, with Dylan deflecting pretty much everything. But this whole time, the stress is building up in Dylan, and 15 minutes later, the detective notices that he's on the verge of completely breaking down, and he decides to exploit this perfectly.
What did you see?
I told you what I saw.
No, I mean, there's more that you saw. We need your help. She deserved to be killed like this. Help us. What if this was your family member, your sister? Hey, there comes a time where in your life where you have to make a right decision, do the right thing. We need your help.
She's actually dead.
Okay.
Is she?
That's what I'm talking to you about. Did you see something that happened to her? If we talk about it, you're going to feel like the weight of the world is off your shoulders. There's only one thing that makes a person get this emotional. That's if they saw something bad.
I remember a couple of days ago when we were talking, we were having a good time, and I don't know why.
Don't know why what?
Why I feel so close to her.
So you guys said, well, you were close to the same age, right? You felt a connection with her? Because you maybe had the same problems growing up and stuff like that?
Probably.
What did you guys talk about? Just life and stuff like that?
Yeah. We listen to music as well.
What did you guys listen to? You guys like?
She played music. I don't really prefer music. I just like the white noise.
It's tough, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're here.
I think fine up to this point. Not talking about it, not thinking about it. I mean, I was thinking about it, but...
What were you thinking about?
Just that this person that could have been a potentially good friend, or more maybe, I don't know, is not going to be that person.
No, it hurts, doesn't it? Maybe you can help her. She may not be here, but that doesn't mean you can't help her.
Help her what?
Help us find out what happened to her.
There are hardly any words to describe what Dylan must be feeling here. He was clearly born on the wrong side of the tracks and fell in with a bad crowd. He also clearly loved Samantha, which is really the biggest tragedy of all. Over the dozens of interrogations with witnesses that were conducted, detectives realized that Samantha was murdered over a small disagreement with Danny and Tony. It was needless, senseless, and ruined countless lives, and